Smack. Welcome to Super Smack.
Welcome to the Super Smack.
The Super Rugby podcast from the fans, for the fans, the end of round 11.
A special Anzac round, a tribute to our fallen.
Lest we forget.
Yes, the sacrifice that was made, and it's always beautiful seeing the tribute that they pay with rugby. I mean, rugby's obviously a great bringer together of people who celebrate the sacrifices that those men made.
Yeah, so, for us to be able to do this podcast.
Exactly, we wouldn't be here. Or
do you think
we
they would have done it if this was the reason why they were doing it? Like, do you think they would have gone, is that it? Like, it's just these guys doing this podcast.
Well, we still would have been doing the podcast. It just would have been in German.
Oh, yeah, true.
Or
yeah,
Japanese.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be all bad.
Well, I mean, big market for rugby
German
in Japan.
How much German do you know?
Ein little bisschen.
Bitzle.
Ein bisschen. Isn't it?
You know more German than me, and I'm Austrian.
Well, yeah. When you guys have
Checks out.
every right to be angry about the Germans.
Yeah, so, I mean, lest we forget.
Yeah, lest we forget.
And you're right, like, it was actually really nice, especially in Australia, actually. I mean, the New Zealand side of things was pretty good too, but they really know how to turn on that kind of stuff in Oz.
Mate, I was talking to Mike Wally on the phone, and I was asking him if he was going to go for a game of two up at the pub. Because when I was living in Sydney, man, you're so right. They go to town on Anzac Day. Everybody's at the pub pissing. I mean, basically, it's because they love to drink.
Love to booze, yeah.
And it's just an excuse to get pissed up and gamble. But, man, it felt like it had more. It felt like it meant more in some weird way. Although I'm sure that absolutely is not true. It would mean a lot to many New Zealanders. But we're just so reserved, We're so reserved.
Yeah, and a little less. We're just a bit more lo-fi, I think.
Yeah.
That's it.
But some cracker games. I was under the impression for some reason, and I'd forgotten what the games were, that they were all going to be Trans-Tasman clashes. But of course they can't be, can they? And they weren't. But the Trans-Tasman clashes were good.
Yes,
they did not disappoint.
Well, yeah, there was a few doozies.
There were some doozies. And a couple of great derby matches too. Any news to come out of the weekend?
Well, let's have a look. Let's see what we can find. Which one is it?
News. First news, mate. You weren't making that up
either. This has been
either.
news before, mate.
You weren't making that up
before.
either. You had actually forgotten which one it was.
We've had some studio changes, and I was just telling you how you look really great in your new lighting situation. And now what you're doing here is you're belittling me a little bit.
Well,
I've just stumbled into a change. It used to be in my right hand that I was doing it with, and it was down in the right hand corner.
I've just noticed a few things about you. Maybe that you're not quite. Sometimes your mind's not all there with that stuff. Do you need to see somebody?
I've seen lots of people.
Okay.
And they've all said, yeah, you're a bit fucked, but that's okay.
Lest we forget. Rawadi Job.
Give us your news, mate.
Okay, the news. Well, the first New Zealand team to win in Australia.
Oh, God.
This season. Obviously, not ever.
Not ever, yeah.
We know that's blatantly not true.
Is that, so has anyone come close?
Well, you certainly didn't.
No. Is that the only game we've played in Australia?
No, the Highlanders came close, did they not, with the Force? No, that was here. Was it?
Are you sure this fact is true?
Yeah, it is true. It is true.
Did you just Google it? Did you chat GPT?
No, it's been everywhere. It was a well-known thing that up until this round, that was the hoodoo that was hanging over. And of course, the Hurricanes rather, hadn't beaten the Brumbies in Canberra since 2017.
Wow.
So everybody was going, well, that's probably another, Aussie win, and they didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
The Hurricanes managed to hold out, and that's pretty impressive because the Brumbies are definitely the best Aussie outfit, and in Canberra they're very dangerous. They're clinical. They're the Crusaders of Aussie rugby, and we.
Sorry, you're not boring me, mate. I'm just I've got a sneeze going on.
Just get it out, mate.
Nah, it's gone back in.
Mate,
gone back in.
I realise you're emotional about the Hurricanes win, and I would be too. I am. I realise it's a big thing.
Nor there, mate.
It's a big thing.
You know what? It's a big thing for you because you're in 5th place now.
Yes, huge climb.
Yeah, huge climb.
Yeah.
And that shows how close this competition is.
It's great. Really awesome.
Which is great. I mean, you had a draw last week, which has obviously given you the points to get up into contention, and then you had a lovely wee win. Was it a bonus point win?
I don't think it was, because I don't think we had.
Didn't seem like it.
No, but it was a fantastic win and a fantastic game of rugby, and there were some good players back, and it was wonderful to see. Well done to the Hurricanes.
Yeah, well done.
Other news. Couple of injuries.
Yeah.
Couple of big injuries.
We had a couple of switch outs, really. Like, I know I'm speaking for the Chiefs here, but we had some people come back. We've had a couple of returns in the last little while. We had Caleb Trask come back in. We've had Josh Lord come in.
Yeah.
We've had Wallace Satiti came back in. And you guys have had a couple of players returning as well. You had the Billy Proctor of the world, which is really nice.
Yep. Very nice to have old Billy back.
A couple of wee injuries too.
Yeah, a couple of wee injuries. Taha Kemera.
Yeah,
that looks nasty.
It looks nasty.
And old Albie.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that. We haven't heard anything about that yet, and I'm sure by the time maybe this podcast comes out, we might hear a little bit more. But it's always sad to see someone in a sling at the end of the game.
It is, and it was. I've got to say, the Crusaders played bloody well, considering that when Kemera went off. Didn't seem to make a jot of difference, I got to say.
Well, they're not
really.
They
continued business as usual.
Not really resting all of their hopes on their first 5 this year, are they?
No, but they're doing bloody well. I mean, he's. I would say he's vaguely in All Blacks. Sorry, was a hair in my mouth. I would say he's vaguely in All Blacks contention, wouldn't you?
Kemera? Vaguely.
Who's the third? Let's do a pop quiz now. Who are the 3 10s? Obviously, the first 2 are pretty obvious, right?
Yep.
What are we? We're Bodie.
Bodie, DMac.
We're DMac. Who is the third 10?
Well, you've got Plummer.
No way, he's
Ruben
off.
Love.
He's gone. Plummer's out.
Ruben Love.
Hasn't spent enough time at 10. He'll be selected as an outside back. So honestly, it has to be Kemera, doesn't it?
Nah, there'll be someone else.
Mate, well, they have to exist in real life, this person. You can't just make them up.
It'll be Beaver. You'll come back.
No,
give him a call.
No, honestly, I think Beaver's had a stroke. I was the other day. He's been saying some weird comments.
What
Did you hear his comments that
Mate,
he said?
He has not had a stroke. He's in fine form.
Is he?
He's a super rugby. He's a Sky Sport commentator.
Yeah, but
he's got a podcast with Kirsty. What's her name? Stanaway.
Yep. The aftermatch, great little potty.
Yeah. He's got his drinks.
He's just been saying some inflammatory comments about the
he bought a strip
URC.
He bought a strip club in Palmy North.
Oh yeah, with his mum.
Yep. She's one of the lead dancers.
Yeah, she's on the floor. Hey,
no,
Stephen Donald.
No, she doesn't dance, mate. She runs the bar, and she's very good at it.
Yeah, but
she makes a lovely Long Island iced tea.
Really? Yep. Well, it's not hard, mate. You just put every liquor in the cabinet in it. So
she's good at it.
This bloody thing's pissing me off. This mic's not sort of staying up.
Oh, are you going to be okay?
Well, not really.
Do you want to just hold it up?
You can see how desperately upset I am.
Do you want to
I'm going to have to hold it up like this. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Well, I think we should
get into go home.
We should get into the first game.
Okay. Chiefs Force. Another dominant second half performance, mostly. Although you were, because the Force were in it for a bit.
The end of the first half, we really restarted.
Then you
did
your usual thing that you've done so well.
And you know what, mate? Like I was in for a wee soak at Putakai down at Palm Springs.
I bet you were.
Yeah, just on a lovely Friday afternoon wee soak. Just in preparation for this game, because I just wanted to be nice and relaxed. Just like the boys, I felt like they would be nice and relaxed.
Well, you were certainly relaxed. You turned up 15, 20 minutes late.
Yeah, it was because we were out at the pools, man. Yeah. And I got a little bit comfy out there.
Yeah,
it was good.
As you'll want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you and I saw it on the telly, but I don't know if anybody else saw it because they were so bloody far away at the ground.
Oh, you're talking about the Bay Oval?
Yeah. I mean, it's a cricket ground, right?
It is a cricket ground.
And you looked at it on the TV and you're going, those people on either side of the touchlines, surely they can't see shit. Like they're miles away from the paddock.
Too far away, you think?
Oh, I mean, yeah, because you're putting a rectangle in a circle.
Do you think there's more people watching on TV? There's more people watching on TV than are at the game.
Well, definitely. And I think it was a little bit blustery, wasn't it? Or was it fine conditions in the Bay?
I don't know. I don't remember it being wet.
But it just, there's not many people can fit in, but also it's just, not the greatest view, I got to say.
I just think maybe it's a bit, maybe Tauranga and the Mount, they're kind of desperate to have some games. And they're a big city, so they maybe should. But, I mean, we used to have Bay Park, which was a speedway, which was a little bit weird having the rugby field inside the speedway.
So they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it there.
No, again, but that's what they used to have.
Oh, so that's around.
There used to be a rugby ground.
That's round as well.
Yep. Right. But it had the speedway in between.
So there's no real purpose-built rugby ground there.
Well, we've got the Tauranga Domain, which is the home of the Bay of Plenty Steamers.
So they not value rugby in the Bay of Plenty, mate?
They do, mate, but they just don't have the big stadium. Because you've always had it's always been Waikato, right? So you've always had FMG Stadium.
Yeah.
You've never, and you've had Rotorua International Stadium as well, which was where the All Blacks used to have their trials.
They did the probables versus the possibles.
I used to love that.
Yeah, they did.
I touched Tana Umanga's dread in that park.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's weird. Did you ask or did you just do it?
It was really wet.
That's disgusting, man. You touched Tana Umanga's dread just without permission. Like you just reached out and you went.
Mate, he was an idol. I was just wanting to put.
So you were running. All the kids were crowding around him for an autograph, and you just reached up and touched his dread.
And
what did he say? Did he turn around and go?
He didn't say anything. He didn't even notice.
Right.
I don't think you've got feelings in the bottom of your dreads.
I guess you wouldn't actually, because dreads are kind of gross, aren't they? I'm surprised he kept them for that long.
Oh, it's a bit like life, isn't it?
It's a bit like something.
It's art imitating life.
It's limp.
Saggy.
She's gone all limp and saggy.
Mate,
I thought I'd fix that with the Allen key. Sorry, we're just having a couple of technical difficulties. That's amazing that you were able to touch Tana's dread. I had a hug with Jonah once.
Did you?
Yeah, at the Upper Hutt Rugby Club. He came out for some kind of visit.
Is that why you had kidney problems?
Yeah. I punched him in the kidneys. And he's like,
mate, why'd you do that?
Well, I punched him in one kidney. Or was it both that he had issues
I think it was both. He had a full-on blown kidney
and
disease.
then Grant Kiriyama gave him one.
Yeah.
Good on him. So Grant Kiriyama's only got one. Did I say Grant? I just did that thing. Grant Kiriyama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the second name's Māori.
Yeah. I did what my old drama school tutor did that I was telling you about the other night. There was a girl in our class called Sarah, and she was part Māori. And this woman just goes, "Hey, Sarah," and she's like, "Annie, I'm not, like, my name's not Māori. It's just Sarah." Yeah, the woke.
Otago.
Otago. I know Grace thought it was Otago. Otago. Or Omaha.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
It's Omaha.
It's not, mate.
100 caps for Samasoni Tokiaho.
Yes,
and
well
he got
done.
a wee meat pie for his troubles.
He did,
as
and he barreled in for it too, like a cannonball. He was going at pace.
We were talking about this, and we'll talk a lot about Cody Taylor later because, man, he is a very, very good player at the moment, and he's obviously putting his name in the hat for that starting hooker role.
Yeah.
But, there's a couple of good players there, and they are barreling runners. They're big boys. Omoa and Tokiaho are sensational players.
They are. They're both amazing. And what a trio of hookers to be able to take, on tour or have in the ABs. It's pretty impressive. The one thing that stood out to me from the game is who needs DMac anymore?
Well, it was the
who
first
needs
time,
it, mate?
Mate, it was the first time we played pretty well without him.
Yeah. I mean, you've played shockingly with him at times too.
Just once, mate.
Just once?
Yeah, just once.
Was he playing in the Drua game as well?
No.
He wasn't. That was a game he had off. And so suddenly you all went, oh, must be DMac. So you get him back.
Yeah, we've lost 2 games.
Okay. You've only lost 2 games.
One with him and
Congratulations. One without him. Okay. So it's really, from a data perspective, actually quite hard to tell what way's up.
Yeah, it just feels like we've had, it was the first time we've had a clinical performance without DMac.
Yeah.
He's usually running the ship. And then we had a lovely wee man called Josh Jacob.
Yeah.
And, he's been threatening to be good all season.
What, like writing sort of strongly worded letters and leaving notes in people's letterboxes kind of threatening?
He's been playing pretty well.
Oh.
And, he's had a couple of starts and he's been off the bench a few times. And I just think he really, he really showed up. And he doesn't give a fuck.
Nah, he doesn't. And you know what? That's the great attitude. And he's kind of, in a way, controls the game somewhat and sometimes a little even better than DMac does. I'm really impressed with him. I mean, we were watching the NPC, you and I, remember when he was playing for Taranaki, and we knew, you knew he was good then. He hadn't really been given a full shot with the Chiefs at that point.
Maybe do you put Josh Jacob in there as that third 10 then?
Yeah, absolutely, actually.
Maybe.
You do. We'd forgotten about him before.
I've got a little bone to pick with Ben Donaldson and Harry Potter in this game.
Yes.
The cheeky little bastards.
Yeah. They tried something.
They pulled a little Swifty. And I think, there's a few unspoken rules in sport. Don't stab a man when he's got his back turned.
No. Well, you're not allowed knives full stop as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, but these guys just got the blades out.
Yeah.
Ran up. They sprinted up.
The Jets.
Like, Ben Donaldson was at halfway before half of the Chiefs. And everyone else had water bottles in their hand. They're just having a yarn going, yeah, nice try. This is good. Yeah, what are we doing next?
Caught napping.
But is it really?
Are you saying that there should be some kind of rule where you've got to have everybody's attention beforehand? I mean, surely the point of gaining an advantage in that situation is that some people won't be quite ready for you.
Yeah, but it just reeks of desperation.
It reeks of intermediate kind of level. Like,
it's definitely intermediate.
Josh, we'll go now.
Yeah, what that behind the things that behind the goalposts are like, hey Gareth, should we do it?
I mean, you're right. It is desperation, and to be honest, fair enough to the Chiefs. The Force had to do something like that if they were going to beat you. There was no shit show in hell they were going to beat you otherwise. And they still didn't beat you even doing those kind of things. So I reckon good on them if you have to try Texas. I mean, do you know what, mate?
You really think good on them?
Mate, if they have to do that, so I've always had a problem with teams that try to charge down conversions that run out from the thing. I felt for a while the All Blacks never did that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt that we were a team that didn't do that to other teams. We go, just let the guy kick. If you're trying to put him off a kick or do behavior like that, you're admitting that you haven't got the capability to get it done on the field. I've always thought that with those things. Why bother? It shouldn't be allowed.
Did you do any cheeky things when you were playing? Hold someone's boot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
hold someone. Yeah, or hold someone's shirt. A lot of the time, like pretend. Oh yeah, they're trying to get away from the ruck to chase, and you just hold them in it. I mean, that's a pretty common one.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
That's something Scott Barrett would do.
Not really detectable.
It's not detectable because you just, as soon as they turn around, you let go. You know,
little cheeky foot trip or something.
Maybe a little cheeky foot trip. I actually can't remember. I wasn't the dirtiest player. You would have been a dirty little fucker.
No, I was too short. I was too small.
Yeah, but you can still trip a guy up.
Nah, because like if you did something like that, they come back at you. Whenever you do something on a rugby field, you've got to be able to back it up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was mouthy. I'd get lippy.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
And people would definitely smash me because I was getting lippy to them.
Yeah. People would do some punches in the scrum.
Yeah.
You know, like that, which I always thought was bang out of order.
I remember playing, we played someone on the East Coast when I was playing for Tauranga Sports once. Yeah. And it was like a random sort of like exhibition game before, I think it was like mid-season or something.
Yeah.
And we played these guys that were way older than us.
Yeah.
And we were quite a good team.
Yeah.
But we were like pretty green when it comes to like tactics, in the ruck. Yeah. And this guy punched me in the ruck. And I was like, what are you doing? I don't want to fight. And the guy was like really apologetic. He was like, oh, sorry, bro. No, sorry. I didn't know why I did that. That's just like, it was kind of like it was just expected that he was going to like throw a couple of punches. I was like, that's what they do, you know?
Well,
yeah.
You're a scrapper.
I wasn't a scrapper, mate. He was scrapping me.
One more point on that game I want to talk about is the supposed knock-on that then turned into a try.
Oh, God, yeah.
Mate.
That was awful.
James Dolman, my theory is, mate, he knew it was a try, and he called it a knock-on because he didn't want to run all the way back to the try line to give it.
Yeah.
So he's like, play on, and the Force get all the way down the thing, and then he's like, no, it was a knock-on. It was definitely a knock-on. And then only because of the injury was Boucher actually, or whoever it was, able to go up to him and go, mate, can we actually bloody look at that footage again? It was not a knock-on. And he's like, oh, all right.
I mean, it was touch and go, given credit.
But you could tell how reluctant he was, and then he sees it, and he has to, and then he gives the try.
When he called it in the moment, he was like, oh, I think that was a knock-on, but we can always check it. And then they go 80 metres down the field. Yeah. And the most embarrassing thing from a ref's perspective, he gets caught with his pants down, and then he has to run all the way back. No, he has his pants up. Okay. As a figure of speech.
Thank God.
And then he had to run all the way back and award the try. He's running an extra 150
metres. Clearly even more reason not to do it. I can see why I wouldn't do. But I mean, he covered good ground.
He did cover good ground.
But also, is it really necessary for them to run all the way down the end of the field just to give the try? Can't they give the try remotely? I mean, it's 2025. We're all about remote. Give it remotely.
But
Work from home.
I guess the other players have to go back. It's his mistake. So he's gone, if you boys are running back,
I'm going to run back.
Well,
good on you, Dolman.
Yeah, but dick move.
Yeah. It didn't matter in the end because you were going to score about 50 more tries.
Lovely 56-22 scoreline. We needed that. We needed that bonus point.
It was. And hey, Carlo Tizzano hasn't scored a try in 2 games now.
We've put a hoodoo on him.
What's happened, mate? Our little bet has...
We've put a hoodoo on
He's
him.
been listening to the podcast, of course.
And
now he can't get over that white line anymore. How are we going to solve the bet?
I think what's happened is the incentivization has only been for the first half of the season.
The incentivization, yeah. What do you mean? It expired at round 10.
They were like, look, score as many tries as you can in the first half of the season. Score as many tries as you can in the first half of the season, and we'll give you, $100 a try.
Yeah.
And second half of the season, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gareth's just having a real trouble with his mic, and he's really letting it get to him.
Well, it's just fucking me off. Well, it's just fucking me off. You know,
fury.
You want something to just...
Mate,
all right, we'll move on.
You're going to need to get over it.
Yeah, I will get over it. Reds Blues.
Reds Blues.
At Suncorp.
The battle of the colours.
The battle of the primary colours. If only there was a team called the Greens. Or is it Yellows?
What's your favourite colour, mate?
Well, what do you think it is?
I'd probably go with the yellow.
It's not. It's green, mate.
Green?
I love green.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell I haven't got any green on at the moment. Obviously, I'm sporting these colours. And actually, do you know what? I kind of hate yellow. And that's why I kind of hate that the Hurricanes' master colour is yellow. Never been a massive fan of it, I got to say.
The black jersey is the better one.
The Taranaki black and yellow,
oh yeah,
I love. That kind of thing actually
Classic
works quite well.
Yeah.
But not a massive fan of yellow as a colour. It's very yellow.
But if you had to choose red or blue, which one would you
Blue.
go for? Blue.
Yeah. And it's got no affiliation to the team. Let me remind you.
Or the... So you would,
What do you mean?
Go blue? Blue?
I'd go blue, mate. What are you trying to get at?
You've got season tickets for the Blues, so maybe...
I do, but I certainly don't wear any blue well, I probably do wear
you don't
unintentionally.
You don't like red very much?
I don't like red so much, no.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clear that up.
It's not...
Hey, Tom Liner and Tate McDermott.
They had a blinder, mate. Tom Liner is on one, and obviously massive debates to be had now around the number 10 jersey for the Wallabies, because you got Lolosio, you got Donaldson, you've got Liner, you've maybe got O'Connor.
Yeah, I think O'Connor's definitely put his hand up.
So you've got some quality players there,
and they've been known to have some good half combos. The Reds.
They have. Yep, they've long had. Who did they have? Genia and
what's his name? The one that punched Richie in the head or Needham in the
Quade
head.
Cooper.
Quade Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, Quade's. Some people say Quade's still the best they've got even now. But no, I'm a big fan of Donaldson. I quite like Donaldson.
Yep, Donaldson's good.
But Liner had a blinder. I'm just wondering.
That rhymes.
Liner had a blinder at Suncorp. I'm wondering whether the Blues are ruining the decision not to start Bodie.
Well, do you think that's maybe why Linus was like, oh, I'm just going to fire up.
I mean,
go hard at the start.
They definitely knew. I mean,
I mean, is that a slap in the face?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what the decision was, and he was sitting on the bench for a good majority of the game, and I'm not.
We're going handheld, mate. Come on, pull it out.
We've gone handheld.
We've gone handheld.
I don't really.
Just getting so angry.
Well, I was getting angry. It was actually
just hold it
annoying
up,
me. I am. It was just annoying to me. But now that's
and
off
we've got
the
Reds
side.
and the Blues. Mark Telaire. You know, I almost put him in my fantasy.
Naughty Mark Telaire. What was he thinking?
I just thought maybe he would be. I was thinking to put him in there because I thought maybe after the big announcement last week, that maybe he would just get a little bit relaxed.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit too relaxed, mate. I think he's trying to prove something. It's like, mate, we know you're off to Japan. You don't have to upend a guy on his head. Poor junkyard dog.
He put a guy right on his head.
He put a guy on his head, and he's like, "I'll show you. I'll show you what my contract in Japan costs." And he got sent off, and then it was a red. So I mean, that was naughty because what he did is he should be playing out of his skin in his last season with his club, and instead he got them in a right lot of trouble, and they lost a major game, and now they've got a fucking uphill battle
Yeah.
They probably don't think they do. They probably think they're in a somehow these deluded Blues fans think they're in a lovely position to beat the Force at Eden Park next week. I beg to differ. I'd say watch
you
out.
Had trouble with the Force.
Exactly. As you know, and you guys didn't by the second half.
Definitely not.
But I think the Force are not to be messed with at Eden Park. That's going to be an interesting game. The person who I thought had a blinder and was unfairly done by for the Blues was Kurt Eklund. You're good.
Yes.
Bay of Plenty boy.
Well, yeah. How many times did he go over without scoring?
He went over like about 4 different times and got and they were no tries. He got held up. He there was a callback on a maul that he was attached to, and then finally he gets over, and you could just he was livid, mate. He was like, how much work do I have to fucking do
for one
just to get one try out of this game? You could sort of see him looking there going, please, God, let me play for another team next year.
Yeah, who would he play for? He should be playing for the Chiefs.
Well, I mean,
really, shouldn't
he should be playing for the Chiefs. And actually, I thought, did he not at one point?
Yeah, he probably did.
He's a good hooker. I like Kurt Eklund. I think he's quality. He has great games for the Steamers.
Absolutely.
So
he's a stalwart in the Steamers side. For
I don't know. I kind of rate his work ethic. So poor bastard just couldn't get anything done. But nothing was going right for the Blues. It was just some reason going from bad to worse this season, and I'm not quite sure why. Yeah. They were supposed to be saying that they had a shocker start and they were building, but it doesn't look like they're building. It looks like they're going backwards, if anything.
Well, it's this kind of common theme this year. We kind of call it that teams are kind of coming back. Like, you had your big win against, who was it? The
Waratahs.
The Waratahs, yeah.
Huge.
And we were like, oh, man, it all clicked. They're back, baby. And then you lost a couple on the trot and had a wee draw, stumbled your way to a draw.
It is.
The Blues are the same. They beat the Hurricanes, and we thought, here we go. They're on a roll.
And apart from the teams that, the usual teams that are doing it, like the Chiefs and the Crusaders, that it can build some consistency, I guess I kind of maybe do like that the competition is very unknown weekend to weekend, kind of like the NRL is. You just never really know who's going to, like the Warriors can come out and lose horrifically and then the next week beat the Bulldog. It doesn't make any sense a lot of the time. And I quite like that. I suppose it's a great thing for the sport in some ways.
It's a very, very close competition in that respect,
Yeah. And then you really don't know who is going to make the playoffs. Like I feel like it was very predictable.
Yeah.
Super Rugby over the years.
Well, the fact that you guys are 5th, I don't feel like you've done enough to get jump 5 positions or whatever
it is.
We
definitely haven't, but I guess you time your run and hopefully the Hurricanes can keep building for sure.
Next game was the Moana versus Drua, the Battle
affair,
of the Pacific.
In North Harbour Stadium.
And they bloody missed the beat, man. Why was that not played in the islands?
Well, mate, I think they tried to play in the islands earlier in the year.
And they tried to play in Tonga.
And something went wrong there that meant that they couldn't. Must have been an administration thing or something wasn't ready for them. But that game, I guess, was always scheduled at North Harbour. I've got to say, though, there were quite a few Fijian fans there.
Yeah.
Almost more potentially than Moana Pacifica. But either way, it was just a real, it just had that great Pacific feel. And, I feel it was it was a great game of rugby. The Drua are up to their usual stuff, defending terribly.
And whacking
having random moments of brilliant attack, but then just not following it up with much. They have, however, got pretty much, I think, all home games for the rest of the season. Yeah. So they could uncannily end up like number 6 or something.
The Drua.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is weird because they just are never going to, it's interesting.
I love that Moana, we kind of called it first. I know someone else out on the social pipes has as well. Moana's got themselves a bin.
Yeah.
A branded bin.
They've gone and got themselves a branded bin,
which I love.
Well,
and I know the Auckland Council, the North Shore Council. Was it the North Shore Council?
Well, I guess it's all Auckland now, mate.
The old Auckland Council was stoked.
Yeah,
they've got themselves a branded bin, and you know what?
What's the best collab I've ever seen?
Yeah, totally. And you know what? I feel like if you're a ratepayer in Auckland, you deserve to maybe you've got your bin at home, but take a bin, just one.
Yeah.
But let's not use a different bin every time you want to slap it.
No, I mean, hopefully they can just have been replacing the lids in the last wee while.
Well, yeah. So what we've done now is we've got a dedicated Moana bin that's for slapping.
Yeah.
That's the only one they slap. And if something goes awry, like they have a little breakage, you get the tape out. Maybe it adds to the acoustics. Maybe you have some sort of gel or some sort of silicone that goes in the crack line, and maybe that adds something to the timbre.
Sally's no more cracks.
Yeah, Sally's no more cracks.
The branding was well done because someone had put the bin, or we put the bins that someone else had put up on social media, and they've pretty much made an exact replica, and it's great. And I guess it just adds to the flavour of it a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder how many. Do you reckon they did a bulk order of wheelies? Like, where do you even buy a wheelie bin?
No, I think what they've done is they've probably found a bin that's a little bit out of commission, something that's not being used. Maybe
they've stolen a bin.
Yeah. Or maybe they've been gifted a bin.
By the council.
Yeah, or you said this to me before. Maybe Artie's got a place up here and he doesn't have much recycling. Bless you. Maybe he doesn't have much recycling and he's like, boys, you know what? My bin's got a yellow lid. You can have it.
I don't recycle anyway.
He just throws it all out.
My sister does that.
What? Mate, sort her out.
She doesn't recycle. She used to.
Is she one of those conspiracy theorists that thinks it all just goes into the landfill?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, mate, that's
does.
not a conspiracy. It does, unfortunately. I think
not all of it, mate.
I think we actually just convince ourselves in our little sort of liberal minds that the world is this perfect place. If we do right by it, it'll all be okay. But actually, it's just fucked, and nothing will make a difference. Mate,
I thought you were in a good mood today.
I am. I'm just being a realist.
Oh God.
Yeah. But she used to use disposable cutlery and dinner plates for when people came over for dinner because she couldn't be bothered doing the dishes.
Well, mate, that's just laziness and disrespect.
Unfortunately, that is.
Yeah.
But I don't think she does that anymore. Good on you, mate.
Most Americans.
Hey, the bus was back and celebrated 300 first-class games of rugby alongside his brother. The first time he's played with him since the Hurricanes and the All Blacks.
True, because they haven't played it at all together this season.
This was the first Moana game, and they were both on fire. I mean, they both scored a try, let's be honest.
Yeah. And, I know what you're going to bring up.
Yeah.
It's the trip and chase, right?
Yeah, of course. It was the best try I've seen. It was incredible.
So good.
Amazing.
And you know what? Me and you have talked about this theory of if it's a 50-50 decision and we have to go back and do some sort of finicky looking through old footage to find a little knock on, I think there should be some sway given to the refs for if it was a good finish. So if it was an amazing try, like Artie, an insane finish, like you can't get better than that.
Even from most wingers.
So there should be some sort of, thought in the ref's mind to go, that should be a try. I don't care what's happened. There might be a little bit of a knock-on, but I think everyone agrees, all 30 players on the field and the coaches agree that deserves to be awarded a try.
Yeah, I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, he's the greatest player in the world, hands down. He is a machine. He is an absolute. He can kind of just do anything, and and not only that, he's an inspirational leadership player. On top of that, he's a captain.
Absolutely.
So he's kind of just I mean, it's just phenomenal to see.
The kind of guy you want.
I got excited, and then of course, again, I get slightly tearful that he's not with my beloved Hurricanes anymore.
Yeah, and it was about time he moved on. He had outgrown them.
Yeah, as had Julian. Yeah. And they're both now.
Julian got dropped, didn't he?
I don't really know the circumstances. Probably. I'm sure the Hurricanes really wanted Artie to stay.
You know what my favourite part about Artie's game in the weekend?
Yeah.
I saw a little sort of social media package after the game, and he was out there with the fans sideline having a bowl of kava out of a bucket. I thought that was genius.
That's great. There would have been a lot of kava going. I mean, the Fijians were there. There'll be a lot of kava floating around.
And
game.
You've made me aware because I've had kava before. But you made me aware that it doesn't have alcohol in it.
No, it's non-alcoholic.
But is it still legit to bring into a stadium?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can, and you can bring as much kava anywhere, right? Like you can bring it on a plane. You can do. I mean,
you can. Could you bring a bucket of kava onto a plane?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an alcoholic. It's not. There's no restrictions.
You couldn't get it through the fluids though, through the X-ray.
Oh, true. Well, no, but you do it in the hold, right? You just check it in.
Oh, you check it in?
Oh, I don't know. You can't do that. You can't take that much fluid on a plane, can you?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so.
That's ridiculous. Hey, one thing I did want to mention with Moana, obviously they're labeling the bins, they're branding everything. They're really putting on a show at North Harbour, including in the dressing room as the teams, just before the teams come out, the camera from Sky Sport goes up the tunnel and there's the big double doors with Moana Pacifica branded on it. And they're blowing smoke from a smoke machine down the tunnel, and it's all like
special effects.
There's this music playing, and then they open the doors, and there's Julian Savea standing there, and there's dry ice, mate, not smoke.
Genius.
There's dry ice coming out from either side of the change room, mate. It looked like an episode of Stars in Their Eyes.
That is great.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Julian Savea.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gareth Williams as Julian Savea.
If Julian Savea went on Stars in Our Eyes, who do you reckon he'd impersonate? Because the idea of course, was to impersonate. They all were looky-likeys and soundy-likeys.
Yeah, true.
Who do you reckon he'd do?
Julian Savea.
I reckon...
Tim?
Mate, you have
or
to
Sir
be
Howard?
A singer. Oh, Sir Howard. Yeah, that's a good one. I reckon he'd do Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
I reckon
Stevie Wonder would be good.
I reckon he'd chuck on a pair of shades and just, hey.
Ray?
Actually, you could do Ray Charles.
I think he'd be a better Ray Charles.
Georgia.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, great level of production value.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is production
I've also
value.
got to say, you know what would make a great vessel for disseminating that dry ice from either side?
Bins.
A wheelie bin.
Yep, absolutely.
I've never seen a team make so much use out of the common bin. It's impressive.
Yeah, it is really impressive.
They've got something.
And you know what? Like, what better way to bring up your 300th first class game than with a bit of dried ice?
Oh, well, I think they did it the week. I think they've done it before as well. But there's certainly they've gone down to Bock gases.
Yeah, I don't think this is coming out of the budget. I think someone's got it on their own credit card. I think someone's No, I think someone's just gone, you know what? These boys deserve a little bit of
It's
extra.
Tanner. I reckon
today.
Tanner goes to one of his assistants. He goes, hey, Mitch, go down to Bock. Get us a couple of slabs of dry ice.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's not getting beers for the boys, he's getting them dried ice.
Yeah, he says slabs, and so everyone's going, he's shouting. Turns out he comes back with all of the stuff. He's like, right, put it in the bin, get some water on it.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I did a high school production of Aladdin. I know a lot about dry ice.
Do you put water on dry ice? I thought that's what made it
yeah, that's what
dangerous.
No, but that's what makes it create the steam.
Okay.
So dry ice, you've just got it. So you put it with water, and it bubbles up, and it creates the steam, and then you use fans to blow it out.
And it's
you can make lovely clouds.
Safe to breathe in.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's because it doesn't engulf you. What dry ice also does is why they use it in productions is it stays at ground level.
Yeah.
It doesn't go up like smoke.
Been in many productions with dried ice.
Have you, mate?
Love it.
Okay, well, you're asking a lot of questions.
Well, I've just never had anything to do with it.
Oh.
I've just been there in it. I've never...
You've never gone backstage and gone,
how does that work?
How are you blokes doing this? Where's that stuff coming from?
It just comes out of a machine.
You've just never given thought about it.
I've heard the machine.
I reckon you just stared at it come around your feet and you went, clouds.
This is nice.
This
is a nice way to enter a rugby game.
A fantastic result from Moana Pacifica, and they keep their campaign alive. We should probably move on to what was a very highly anticipated match of the round.
Yeah.
The Crusaders, the near to the top of the table Crusaders, and the near to the bottom of the table.
And you know what?
Highlanders.
We don't need to spend too much time on this game because it was basically these two teams.
Yep. We knew what was going to happen.
Doing what,
there was no
form has said that they're going to do.
There were no surprises, and it doesn't matter whether they're at Forsyth Bar. Those were two teams in completely different classes. Absolutely different, and I mean, the way Will Jordan just ran rings around them with those two early tries.
He's starting to look like he's too good for Super Rugby.
He's doing it again.
And it's scary at this stage of the season. Like he's jogging in.
Oh yeah,
like he jogged in those first two tries.
I mean, he's a phenomenal player, and this is why the Crusaders have always done well, mate. I said this to you the other day. Because they're the Crusaders and their pedigree, they attract incredible players.
Yeah.
And I think something needs to be done with the Highlanders. There's a little bit of concern around they need to recruit some decent players. No offense.
A couple of stars.
No offense to the players that are there. They're all fantastic journeymen, a lot of them, and they work hard, but they need some firepower if they're going to compete. I mean, let alone with the Blues and the Hurricanes, but with the Chiefs and the Crusaders, who clearly are packed with All Blacks and playing well.
They haven't
got a shit show in hell of winning anything if they don't attract those people. And at the moment, and I said this to you earlier, it looks like they potentially, maybe, won't have a single All Black in the team this year. If Ethan de Groot doesn't get picked, who else is going in?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Jamie Joseph?
Yeah.
Just gets a call up.
Just may as well. He's a big dude.
I think what they're doing is maybe spending a little too much time on finishing moves. So Corey Kello.
Yeah.
What does he play? He's a loose forward, right? Yeah. That was one of the best winger finishes that I've seen from anyone
in a long
time.
And made all the more better because he's a forward.
My question is, like, when are they practicing that? Because that's a lot of practice.
At training? Mate, I reckon they get 10 minutes at the end of training.
Oh.
And the coach goes, all right, boys, you can go off and do your finishing moves now.
Is that like at the end of the social dance?
Yeah.
Where you get a free dance? Like you do your foxtrot, you do your waltz.
And then someone puts on Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
The way you make me feel. And every player at the end of training, he goes, and they're like the dog waiting to go out for a walk. They're all looking at him like this, and he goes, "Go on, them,
go on." Them.
And they all just run off to the corner, and they're just going, "All right, your turn."
It's like when you're at your friend's pool, and someone's got a tennis ball, and you take turns at like jumping into the pool doing the best catch.
Yes.
Oh god.
But mate, there could be a lot of injuries sustained doing that. I mean, you think about it; they'll all be playing silly buggers, trying to do the best kind of. And they're all stretching out.
But, mate, there's no way that they haven't practiced that.
I definitely think they're
Corey he's come in there and he knows exactly what he's up to.
Yeah, I mean, some players will be naturally blessed, but you're right. Callow has to be practicing. He's
got to be practicing.
And it was a great athletic finish, but also was evidence that the Highlanders, not to just bag on them, but that they were run ragged. They looked like rag dolls at the end there, mate. The Crusaders, the speed at the breakdown was frightening, and I'd watch out for that. Whoever's playing them next.
Oh, well.
Including yourself, mate. You're not immune.
Not immune.
Cody Taylor was at his annoying best. Got sent off.
Yeah,
came back on and scored a try straight away. And then got a little cheeky at the end.
A little cheeky.
He's good.
Yeah, he's really good. And you know, he's always been good. And he's going to be playing hooker for the All Blacks. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt he's a starter. And I guess it's annoying. It's this weird conundrum, you know, you get when you're pissed off that the Crusaders are doing well at the start, right? And then you go, if the Crusaders are doing well, the All Blacks are doing well. And that you look forward to test season going, there's quality. There's some real quality out there. I really don't want the Crusaders to be the singular proponents of that, but
I don't know if that's as true as what it used to be.
I mean, mate, isn't it?
Nah. Not
oh, you mean back in the day.
Back in the McCaw Reed days.
But for some reason they still managed to do it, and that's the fucking fascinating part.
Anyway, enough about those pricks.
Yeah, let's actually move on to the real game of the round.
Wow.
No, the real game of the round. The mighty,
for you,
beautiful Wellington Hurricanes versus a very salty Brumbies, I imagine, because, as we said before, not a game they lose often at GIO Stadium.
The Canberra hoodoo has been lifted.
It has been lifted. Hoodoo, you do. Remind me of the babe.
Billy Proctor looked really good in that black Hurricanes jersey, and I don't think that's a coincidence.
No,
is that a bit of foreshadowing, do you think?
Well, yeah, the proctologist was there, and he was giving checkups.
I like that.
Yeah.
Saw that you posted that on Instagram, actually.
Yeah, sorry.
This is what happens,
recycling.
Gareth. I think what he does is he gets a little bit silly pissed on a Saturday afternoon.
I do.
And then leads into an evening game. And by 9:30 start, 11 o'clock, he does a full Instagram takeover. When his team wins. He gets very excited.
Well, I mean,
he gets a little lippy actually as well, which he did last night.
It's just because you don't like to see me win, mate. I reckon.
Mate, I don't think
get upset at it.
I don't know anyone on this planet that likes to see you win.
Yeah.
Because you're not a very good winner.
Mate. You just don't like to see me win, so I have to have the last say.
What I'm saying is that no one does, mate, because you're a bit...
I'm not going to let you ruin my day.
You're a little bit nasty.
I'm not going to let you ruin my night.
You get your bazooka out.
Yeah, the Gareth
bazooka. You come
bazooka.
for people.
Yeah, I find you in the corner with a flamethrower, and I burn you out.
Yeah, but why? But enjoy your win. Why do you have to come for everyone else?
I just won't have your little comments. I won't have them.
What little comments?
Your little barbs.
Mate, you start it.
Oh, we're not 5. You started
No, but you do. You really bring it on.
All right. Well, okay, we're moving on.
Don't make me read the text, mate.
Big win for... Is that a dog?
Yeah, it is a dog.
Don't read the text. We could read the text out. Should we read them?
Oh, I don't know if you want that, mate.
No, we don't. I actually can't remember what I said.
No.
I was probably drunk.
It was heated.
Was it?
No,
but I felt I was winning, which is good. I always just go, you and I, when we go at each other, I always have to get the last say, you know.
Yeah, I just put it on silent.
Yeah,
I just put it on do not disturb.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan O'Kane's basically gone off the app altogether because I don't think he can handle it. The shame, the deep shame.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's that too. That's a different kettle of fish.
Massive win for the Hurricanes. That's a season changer because...
Well, yeah, they're up to fifth on the table
There were
now.
certain games that they... you could look ahead and go, oh, they'll win that. This wasn't a guarantee. And, man, but yeah, Billy Proctor played well. Love actually further cemented his role at 10, which was really good to see. Had a mixed bag off the tee, but it was, he kicked some good long ranges.
You know what, Matt?
What do you want to say?
I think what this does is set up a lovely wee Super Smack game next week.
What are we going to do
because
for that?
Because you've got a little bit of form.
Are you around?
Got your heckles up.
Are you around? Are we going to be watching?
We'll be watching together, yeah.
Yeah. We should put on a couple of shirts and pop down to Shapiro's or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a little watch and a burger. I'll probably have some wings as well.
Why, because you're nervous?
No, just because I eat a lot.
Do you think you're going to win, mate?
Yes. Well, hang on. Do I think I'm going to win? No, it'd be very, very hard to get past the Chiefs, but we always have a bit of a battle.
Bit of ding dong.
A bit of ding dong. I went to say that and I didn't say it. And
I knew it. I could see it in your head.
You could see me go. I mean, obviously the Chiefs are the form team of the season, or one of them, and maybe the Hurricanes have been mixed.
Not just the game of the week next week, but the game of the season.
Yeah, and you know what? The Hurricanes will be salty because of what you did to us in the semi-final.
I know, they'll want some revenge, won't they?
Exactly.
And you know what? We don't need this win.
I think you do, mate, because
all
there's
wins
another
are
team
good.
that happens to be on 37 points with you as well.
But to get into the finals, we don't need this win. You guys,
not to get into the finals.
Need this win.
But I think
you do not need this to be a loss.
No, we don't need it. Well, we can't really have it as a loss. We need to keep winning. Unfortunately, I don't know, mate. I think you need to finish top because if I were you, I would not wanting to be travel down to Christchurch.
I mean, it's inevitable anyway. I think we're going to be playing them at some point. Whether that's in the first round of the playoffs or the second round of the playoffs.
Well, no, it's not because that's what I was saying to you last week.
I know, but
the way the draw's structured, you don't actually play each other.
The Reds might come up. You guys might come up and finish second or something.
Well, thank you. We probably will. Now you're talking some sense.
I said might. It's possible.
It's all possible.
It's statistically possible. There's a few teams that could be up there. I mean, it would take a capitulation, but that's not.
Yeah, but you're famous for capitulating, aren't you?
What do you mean?
The Chiefs, mate. Don't pretend like you're in like a bubble. They have capitulated time and time again for the last few seasons.
You give us this little...
Mate, it's a fact.
You give us this choking trophy,
fact.
right?
It's not a...
If anyone choked more last year, it's you guys. You were the premiers, and then you couldn't even make the final.
No, mate.
That is a choking title.
No, it's not. I'll tell you what choking is. Choking, right? The semi-final we had was
made me bring your mum into this.
No, it was a hard-fought battle between two very good teams.
Yeah.
What choking was getting to Eden Park and losing by 30 points to the Blues.
Yeah, that was bad.
That's choking, mate.
Yeah,
and that's not... you're talking about us choking on a tiny little fishbone. You choked on a big old dick.
Mate, whoa, okay. See, this is what I mean. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when Gareth gets a little wind up.
I just won't have you taking the Hurricanes' glory away from them.
But we did last year.
Exactly, and I don't want it again.
Yeah, but we did.
Nah, mate, they're going to take the wind out of your sails.
Where did you finish last year?
Because they own the wind, mate.
Okay.
I'm
really looking forward to this game. I feel like there's a lot of passion behind it.
Speaking of, I'm going to go home and watch that tsunami documentary on
which one's
Disney.
that?
It's just about the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami.
This is the one, the Haiti one or the Japan one?
No, the Indonesian one.
Indonesian one.
Yeah, the biggest one. It's awful.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
But sometimes somehow you just keep glued to the screen.
Why you want to watch that?
I don't know. It's this weird sort of thing about wanting to see it all get washed away.
Okay.
Okay, let's give some awards out, eh?
No! He's touching my...
You really don't want me to touch your pants? It's going to be a lovely game next week.
I hope so,
big
mate.
times
For your sake, I hope it's going to be.
It's going to be a good. The Canes are going to come in. They're going to be relaxed. They're going to be feeling like they can achieve anything. And the Chiefs are going to come in cocky. And one team is going to walk away with their head in their hands. And one team is going to walk away with a throbbing win.
All right.
We should have left that jazz on. Okay, go.
Player of the day.
We've done it
Good
again,
on you,
mate.
My player of the day this week, not surprisingly, comes from the Chiefs because it was actually the best one of the week. Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And we're both big fans of Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, love him.
I mean, I'd happily have Josh Jacobs in the Hurricanes. Great Taranaki player. He's been on the up and up, and like we said before, he should be he's the number 3 team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just played really well.
At 4.
And like, we talk about him not giving a fuck. He obviously gives a fuck. But he's just calm. He's calm, and he trusts the skill set. He does good shit.
Would you say he's got shades of a young Bodie in there? Is there something like that?
Potentially. I just think he's a little more chilled. I kind of like the chilled factor.
Yeah.
And like it's not necessarily chilled in terms of what he can do. It's just more like he just feels calm and in control.
So he's basically the opposite of Damien McKenzie.
Yeah. Well, Damien McKenzie is... Well, I think Damien's got a chill factor too. It's just that he is more frantic.
Chill. I mean, the thing that gets Damien in trouble that we're all aware of in this country is his inability to be chill in the times that he really needs to be chill. And so seeing Jacob pick that up, it bodes well for the future here because, I mean, we're all still waiting to see, I guess, this year what DMac does in the black jersey. Because, when you got Bowden and Jacob around, that's 2 very chill, calm players and then one more erratic guy. I mean, anyway, you know my thoughts on that. But good selection. Mine's Tom Liner. What?
Tom Liner.
Yeah, so another first 5. He played really well. What, mate?
No.
He what? What do you want to say?
I don't want to say anything.
He played bloody well. Obviously the son of the great Michael Liner.
Who was Michael Liner in his day?
A fantastic first 5 for the Wallabies.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. A legend.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
In
Who
the
did he play
90s,
with?
mid-90s.
Mid-90s?
Yep.
Oh, I was only 4.
Yeah, wow. He's on he's on John Loma Rugby, mate. You would have heard it.
Liner. Yeah, true. Yes, I do remember that.
So great to see. He ran rings around them, 2 great scores. Got on him.
Yeah, Liner was great.
You got a most improved.
A good start. Let's have a look at this one then. Most improved player.
I don't know why it frustrates me so much, but it does. And you know it now, and so you're just playing into it.
My most improved player is Billy Proctor.
Yes.
Because he actually came out with a bit of a hiss and a roar last week off the bench, right? He came off the bench, or did he start?
He did.
Yeah. He came out with a little bit of a hiss and roar last week, and this week he came on and just like turned it up, which was nice.
I'm going to go one further, and I'm going to say Billy Proctor and Riley Higgins, because this new centre pairing for the Canes, as in new this season, I love it. And no offence to Umunga Jensen and Balin Sullivan, but these guys play together at NPC level too, Proctor and Higgins.
Mate,
for
you're
the
a
Lions.
quick jumper.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you were talking about Umunga Jensen being the God's gift about.
I wasn't talking about him being God's gift. He's a fantastic player, but mate, the difference that pairing has made, like you can just see it.
What about
There's
that
a
other
lift
game
to the
that
game.
you played? That other good game you played
against
the Waratahs?
Yeah, I mean that was fantastic, but it was against a weaker side like the Waratahs. I mean, anyone can beat the Waratahs, right, mate?
No,
clearly not. Mate, they're a great centre pairing. It reminds me of a Nonu Smith. I love when we have, when you have the ability for people to play to get like that. It bodes well for the ABs. Like I've always thought Higgins will get a spot one day. He's a great player.
I've never heard of him, mate. No, I'm joking.
Well, you don't watch a lot of NPC, do you?
I'm joking.
You just wait till you wait till Bay of Plenty get anywhere near the finals, and then you go, "Hey, Bay of Plenty are doing well."
What
this
happens? Year. You're a bit of a bandwagon jumper, though, mate. Like because I feel like we'll be talking about talking up.
Mate, we have been waiting for these guys to come back from injury all season.
Especially
it's been
Billy.
highly anticipated, especially Billy Proctor.
But you love an Umunga Jensen, though.
Yeah, mate.
He's in a black jersey every day in the first half of the season.
No, I wasn't saying that. I'm saying in the absence of those guys, wind them back. Someone send us in some fucking footage and see if that's what I said. I said he would be a great option as a big sort of bolter, but an outside option.
Right.
But Billy Proctor cements the
and Bradley Wiggins, the cyclist, is in as well.
Bradley Wiggins. You're just making things that rhyme with Higgins.
He's an English cyclist.
Yeah, what
Won
about
the Tour de France.
Yeah, you're saying he could play rugby too.
Well,
you're saying that I'm just naming random people that will never get in the All Blacks.
Well, I just thought maybe next week
I'll name another person too, Quintu Pye. There you go.
Wanker of the Week.
Mine's obvious.
Mine might be a little bit obvious too.
Who?
Mark Talia.
Oh, yeah.
We've kind of talked about it. He didn't need to do it.
He didn't.
He got a little angry. There was a bit of push and shove. He went and sat in the naughty chair, and he's kind of ruined it.
He dropped someone on his
Well,
head.
that was a massive game changer for the Blues, and they've lost what was a hugely important win. So hang your head, Mark Talia.
I think he needs to go out to Parakai.
He needs to soak that away.
He needs to soak it away.
Maybe he could go for nude night.
My wanker of the week is Ben Donaldson and Harry Potter combo. For that cheeky little shitty move.
You didn't like that, eh?
Oh, I just think it's a bit rude.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next week. Obviously, we've got the Hurricanes versus Chiefs, which is the game of the round.
And that's pretty much the only game we need to care about because the others are kind of shit.
Well, there is a Blues Force game in Eden Park. I think the Blues should win that, but I don't think they're going to.
I'm going to double down and go they're going to lose at home.
The Drua Reds, I'm going to controversially, I mean, this is in Suva, but I think the Reds are going to actually break that little record for the...
Are they at Churchill Park?
No, they're in Suva.
Okay, well, then I might go the Reds too then.
Yep. Hurricanes Chiefs at Sky Stadium. I think it's going to be a really good fight, and I think the Chiefs are going to come away with it.
Oh, well, I'm going to pick the Hurricanes for that because I think we can get on it.
I didn't expect that.
Well, I didn't expect that from you either.
Brumbies Waratahs. This is going to be a great battle.
The Brumbies are most definitely going to come back, and they're going to cement at home why they are still the best Australian team. I reckon that could even be a bit of a pasting. I'm just going to put
they really need it too because they really want to cement their place in the.
They'll be angry.
Six.
They would have got blown up by Larkham after that.
Oh yeah, Larkham would not have been happy.
That was an opportunity missed.
Last game of the round is the Highlanders Moana down in Dunedin.
Bottom of the table clash.
It's going to be interesting though.
It is, and I'm going to say, because I have to say this, because I doubled down last week and said the Highlanders aren't going to win for the rest of the season. So I'm going to say Moana is going to seek revenge for having been beaten by the Highlanders at North Harbour earlier in the season.
True. I forgot about that.
And I reckon they're going to do them up against the wall.
Do them by 60 points.
Like an old prosy.
Oh. Why old?
Well, you know, like the ones in Les Mis and things where they sort of do them like, oh, come here, I'll give you a try.
Like a mature.
A mature. Oh, Jesus. It's time to finish.
A jilf.
A jilf. Thanks for listening.
Tune in,
TikTok, Instagram, Super Smack. We love you. See you next week.
Hooroo.